Hello there, friends. Welcome back to the Trent and Zyori podcast. This one here is episode number 178. It is the beginning of July. Today was the perfect day to podcast, as it turns out, because, Trent, we got a big announcement. The biggest of the announcements. We know when, we know where the International 10 is going to be taking place. So maybe that's the high topic here that we should get started on. We're going to talk about qualifiers. We're going to talk about the last couple weeks, what's been going on in both of our worlds. But, dude, TI news, that reigns supreme.
We did it. We got a date, guys. Can you believe it?
Only kind of.
Oh, my name is doubled over itself. I'm two Trents right now.
Oh, my God, you're double Trent.
That's
all
very
right,
exciting.
now you're single Trent. There you go.
Oh, thank you. That's why I had children. Just more little mini Trents. So, yeah, that was pretty exciting to see just in, like, the middle of the last game. I think it was the last game. I don't even remember anymore. Might have been 2 games to go. It was a bit of a blur this evening, seeing that pop up. But, I mean, I kind of predicted October. I'm glad that it's got a solid date. I think that makes sense. Romania is a natural choice, with PGL being the obvious directors of the tournament. So, should be good.
Romania was number 2 on my list a couple weeks ago. We saw the original announcement that Sweden wasn't going to happen. I had said Ukraine. Then Romania was my second. Oh, wait, I have it on my Discord here. I can read it off.
I guess Germany third.
Yes. And then I had the Netherlands fourth. I thought Amsterdam was like some kind of crazy runner-up, low chance, but, you know, you got to
maybe Owen could swing it.
Got to take the
Owen
big shots.
Sheev.
You know, Sheaver's tall. You know, maybe she's got some leverage. But yeah, Romania. Basically, my bets were WePlay or PGL. So PGL it is. Are we excited about this? I skimmed the announcement. What do we know about audience and all those details, or do we not?
I believe there was hints at ticket sales. So
group stage will run October 7th to 10th, with the main stage being kicked off on October 12th. Then on October 17th, the 2 finest Dota 2 teams in the world will face off for the AXIES and their shares of the $40 million prize pool that awaits. Additional information on ticket sales will come shortly. We're grateful to have a partnership with someone that we've formed in Romania and the city of Bucharest. Very much look forward to gathering with the global Dota 2 community, both in person and virtually, to celebrate the elite players and amazing fandom at the International. Prepare yourselves. At long last, Trent, the battle begins. They wrote this just for you. Wow, how'd you do that?
They did. Yep. It's amazing.
It's going to be an Arena Nationale. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, that was the big rumor, and someone said that the roof can't close. So I'm very curious about that, but I'm guessing there's probably some sort of a solution for that. Or
yeah, you buy a raincoat, bitch. That's the solution.
Going on your PC. You have yourself a TI.
You bring a tarp. Wow, it does look. It's a huge stadium, dude. It opened in 2011. Capacity 55,000. It's a football stadium. Goddamn soccer, dude. It's a mammoth.
Yeah, so they'll do like probably some big setup for like I don't even know. I think TI9 was 18,000 people said, so they'll probably set it for like 20, 21K and do spacing, maybe a little bit higher.
Wow. Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Dude,
that would make the most sense to me.
That's something. The Red Hot Chili Peppers played there in 2012. Metallica played there in 2019. Ed Sheeran, is that how you say his name?
Sheeran, I believe.
Sheeran, Ed Sheeran. He did. 48,000 people turned up to see Eddie in 2019. So there you go.
I can't name any of his songs, but I know that he was the redhead guy that was in that one scene in Game of Thrones.
Dude, I was going to say the same thing. That's like
I knew that you were going to say the same thing.
That is the one thing. That's the one trivia piece I got. Sorry, Ed. I mean, I guess it was good marketing. I don't care about his music. It's a little bit like Post Malone. I like the dude. I don't know any of his songs. I couldn't give 2 shits about his music. But when I see an ad or a crossover with Post Malone, I go, it could be cool. I don't know. Seems like an all right guy. Now, Celine Dion is coming in 2023. So will the International 10 be able to one-up that?
No.
Only time will tell.
Actually, no.
Probably
Celine
not.
Dion would outsell T.I. She's our Canadian superstar.
Yeah. Well, this will be kind of cool, though, because this has, like, with COVID, obviously, there's no way this sells out, and it certainly won't be, like, every seat. Maybe it will. I wonder if it'll be a radial stage, like, positioned in the middle, or if it's going to be like the way ESL does it, where they have the big stadium, but screen at the end, and then VIP seating, kind of like where the field would be. Like, is it too big to do that Key Arena style where you have the full 360 stage in the middle?
Well, that one uses an overhang, right? And
Exactly.
I don't think the stadium's set for an overhang screen.
Well, it looks like it might have an overhang screen in the middle. It is mostly open though. It's like a little tinted. It looks like it does have a jumbotron. So here, I can link a picture in Twitch chat.
Oh
if you
yeah,
like.
I haven't seen the picture in a while.
Sorry, Moobot's shilling my book, but
like that tiny little screen.
Here, like I'll pull it up over Trent's face so you guys can see it.
Imagine if you were watching TI on that screen.
Yeah, now when I said jumbotron, it's like a baby.
That's a Tron, dude. That's not a jumbo.
It's a So yeah, it's not great. So it makes one. I mean, could you build one? Could you go in there like U2 style? Remember that stage they had, the claw or whatever?
The most logical thing to me would be like a big backdrop, flat side, more of a semicircle seating. I don't know how you would do like a stand-up stage. I mean, maybe you could with like a 4-sided jumbotron and like fill the whole arena.
Build the jumbotron, dude. Just walk in there and be like, "Yo, guys, your Tron
from
sucks.
the ground up.
We're gonna build like the ground Megatron. So get ready." I mean, that would be some Dota shit there.
I hope big number. I'm very happy that we're waiting for crowd.
All right.
Unfortunately.
Now here's the question, buddy. Are you going? If you get invited, Mr. I don't
100%.
travel, you're going.
I'm double vaxxed. I'm good, bud.
You're clear?
Yeah, man.
All right.
I'm all set. I got my second shot last week. I got like one last week to go before I am done and done.
Well, I'm bummed. I thought Sweden would do that. I really was more looking forward to a trip to Sweden than anything else, and I had to cancel it on both fronts. Like TI got canceled, and then I figured I wouldn't be able to get in. Show up, and they're like, "Sorry, sir, business pass only. Give me your exception or go home." So I think I might go to Iceland instead, bud. That's what I was thinking about for my rebook holiday.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
It's pretty cheap. I can fly direct for like $450 if I go at the end of August, towards the end of the season. Not bad. Looking at Airbnbs. Nice. Check out Reykjavik. Go look at some volcanoes. I don't know what the hell they do in Iceland, but I'm down to check it out.
but you're gonna do it?
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah, it looked all right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They have the policy that I thought Sweden would do. If you're double vaxxed, you're just good. You just go. It's like,
Oh, that's pretty good.
Just go for it. Yeah.
I personally am looking forward to Romania again, hoping obviously I get invited, which I think I will because I'm kind of awesome. So confidence levels rising.
Glad to hear it, bud.
Yes, thank you. It's a nice.
You're exuding confidence for the first time ever. You've truly ascended to.
I do what I can.
Self-confident levels.
I don't know. I had a fun time last time we were in Romania. It was good. So I'm down to go back to Bucharest.
I don't think I've ever had a bad time in Romania, honestly. It's a pretty fun country. It's a little wild. I guess we've had a couple awkward times being stuck in traffic, but never to any like negative consequence. It's always comical and they always plan for it. But in the moment, it feels like you're going to die a little bit. Like you feel like a car could just ram into you at any moment.
Just you saying that just flushed like 30 memories in my brain all at the same time. My brain couldn't even pick which one it wanted to like laugh and be in pain about.
I see images of roundabouts. Just the roundabouts of the donut of cars where no one's moving. And you're like, how does it... It's like when you see a waterfall that's frozen. Yeah.
On the sidewalk, the electric scooters.
Yeah. Yeah, but outside of that, Romania is awesome. Bucharest is fun. I think so. I used to tell people like, dude, it's the best spot. And like Bucharest, there's so much to do. The food is great, and it's really cheap because they're not on the euro. And then everybody figured it out. I don't think Bucharest is that cheap anymore. I think it's getting more expensive. Bogdan was telling me that's fake news now. Bucharest is priced appropriately for how awesome it is. So prepare to spend, my friend.
Yeah, I just remember I bought a meal once when we were in Bucharest, and I was like, man, this is a steal that I'm buying the meal for everyone here, because next event, I'm not paying. I think I fed like 10 people for like
This fucking
$200, and everyone got everything. We're talking like endless drinks, endless food, and it was like $200 like total. I was like, what the hell? That was insane, and the food was really good.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Ukraine's been like that for me as well. But it'll probably be a while before I head back to Ukraine. I got no reason to go there, I don't think. Because I'm working a WePlay event. I don't see that one happening anytime soon. But who knows? Who knows?
You're gonna be you're heading off to sea with the new business, huh?
Exactly, dude. That's
Yeah.
I think I had it right all along. You know, go back to my roots, Southeast Asian Dota, Southeast Asian. I mean, all right. Let's talk about Axie a little, dude. Now let's talk about the crossover. Did you see the Team Secret tweet?
No.
Are you serious? Okay, you've been casting a lot. Give me 1 second here. Yeah.
I saw them mock the NFT thing for someone. That made me laugh. Is that the one you're talking about?
Well, maybe. I don't think it was they're sponsored by Uniswap, so it wasn't really that much of a joke. It was like pretty good for their sponsor.
No. This is not what I'm thinking then.
All right. It was on June 30th. I got the link right here, dropping it in Twitch chat.
Oh, I'm excited now.
So, yeah.
Hey, those are Axies.
Yeah, dude. Look at that. That's a week ago now. Team Secret talking about Axie Infinity. All right, fam, let's farm some small love potions. And they tagged Uniswap. And then their social media guy put together this adorable photoshopped like little hat Team Secret swag on him and turned one of them into a unicorn. That's not really what it looks like, but hey, I'll take it. I like unicorns. It fits the Uniswap vibe, I guess. I like the idea. They're planting the seed of like Axie cosmetic game when. But this was pretty hype, dude. So this came about somewhat organically, where there's a private Discord where I think somebody just got tired of seeing me spam about Axie on Twitter and asked what it was. And then the Team Secret social media manager was also kind of lurking in the conversation and said, well, I'm also curious what it is. So I gave them one of my extra accounts to play on just to see what it's like or whatever. Playing it's easier than explaining it. And they ended up having some fun. And since they're sponsored by Uniswap, they got approval to do this little meme picture. And as you can see, 550 retweets later, pretty smashing success. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here? But that was pretty funny. I think this is a moment where, hey, this will be a funny meme. And then they saw the traction and went, wow, Southeast Asia is really excited about Axie Infinity. And as you know, Secret is tearing it up in the PUBG mobile space, which has a very heavy concentration player base in Southeast Asia.
Oh, they deleted their tweet, I think. Secret had some tweet mocking NFTs this morning. Now I can't find it. Because I saw it when I first woke up, and I was like, I thought they were sponsored by some stuff that had to do with NFTs.
Well, I wonder, maybe that's why you can't find. I don't know. I did not catch that one.
Someone get the slap.
Well, that's you miss all the shots you don't take. They seem to have that sort of a policy. But this was funny. I was really surprised to see this. I got a lot of messages from people that were sort of confused, also intrigued, and just generally like, wow, that's pretty funny. And I kind of didn't realize that Secret was sponsored by Uniswap. I have to say, Trent, of all the sponsors in the crypto space, that's like it's not like an org. It's a DAO. It's like a decentralized org that's just owned by people that like kind of programmed it. So it's not their marketing budget is just kind of built into the exchange. That it's not like Coinbase or anything.
Are they basically the same as PancakeSwap?
They're the OG. PancakeSwap is like a copycat version of Uniswap. So
gotcha.
Uniswap's better. Uniswap's on Ethereum. PancakeSwap's on Binance.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought they were both the same.
Binance is super centralized. So while it does offer a very good service, it's like it's a lot more like Coinbase than something else. But so that's cool. I shouldn't I use Coinbase. I like it, but still, it's centralized. EG is sponsored by Coinbase. Crypto sponsors aplenty, Trent. It's coming, buddy. It's coming. The wave. The wave is just cresting, and it's going to come crashing down in the advertising realm.
Is that what's happening? We're back
I don't
on
know.
a ride?
Did you see? It's like a mid-market, but it's just people are trying to figure out how to market this stuff. Did you see the Logan? Was it Mayweather? I always get the Pauls confused. Was it Jake or Logan? Which one was fighting?
Oh, sorry, Popdar found it. Thank you, Popdar. That's what I was talking about. I
Oh.
couldn't find it on Twitter.
I'm curious, actually. Now you got my interest.
Yeah. So OG tweeted 10 art pieces, 3,336 NFTs, 10 seconds, everything sold out. And Secret just replied, cringe plus ratio. And they actually got the ratio barely by like 30 likes.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I thought I got deleted.
Wow, that's pretty funny that I was just knocking on Binance and this is on the Binance NFT thing.
Maybe that's why they were hitting them, because it was more Binance based than NFT based, I guess.
Ah, okay.
Right? Because
it's like
Uniswap.
Binance versus Uniswap. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Nice. Sponsor beef. Hype.
Yeah, this
Esports hitting the next level.
This is great.
Do you remember we used to have some of that where it was like Monster versus Red Bull and shit?
Oh yeah, there was a little bit of that. I mean, we definitely had that with betting sponsors. We definitely had that with like coaching sponsors. Those weird like guide sites. There's one I shouldn't name that back in the day. I've probably told that story where they said, "Hey, if you give us whatever deal you have with Pugna, we'll double it, but you have to sign right now and not go back to them for a counter offer. So like we'll 2x for you to fuck them." It's just like, that's not worth it at all. You got like 10x it for that. Come on, man. Just this blindside them after we spent weeks negotiating a deal. What's wrong with you? That's not how this works. So there's been a little bit of that, but not publicly like this, I guess. I mean, I think I know your take, but I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this NFT style that OG's doing. I don't really get it.
I don't really. I just stay away from it all. I get messages from people who want to do NFT stuff in Dota, and I'm just like, someone else can handle that. I'm not handling that.
Like in what? Like NFTs of what in Dota?
Like I had a couple messages
art?
about people trying to monetize like player cards and trying to monetize replays and like trying to sell specific Dota moments, and they're like, hey, like, can you hook me up with some like TOs? And I'm just
like NBA Hot Shot clone kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like basically just trying to do that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's I don't know. That purely collectible thing is just like it's the collectibles are weird. Like certain things are kind of collectible. Like sports cards are still like collectible and cool, and like there's some things are kind of worth collecting, but a lot of things that are just designed to be collectibles and that's it are. I bet if you could see the ones that you don't even know about that don't make it, you'd be surprised how many of them have tried and failed. You know what I mean? Like it's not. There's a lot of shitty collectibles out there digitally and physically. I'm not surprised it's translated to the digital space. Like
for every Rocket League, there's NBA 2K League.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, no, you're totally right, though. I mean, that's like not an unfair thing to say.
I would be a top tier. Guys, I could be a professional NHL player if that game could ever get esports. I'm convinced. I always knew how to break that game.
Yeah, dude. Why is there a Madden league, but there isn't a hockey league?
Because it doesn't have PC sales. It only has sales. And the sales are only in Canada. It's basically just made for Canada. The U.S. kind of. I mean, we even have a name for it. We call it Chell. Did you know that? It's called Chell up here. If you ever say, like, you want to play some Chell, that's what it is. Yeah, it means the EA NHL games.
Why? Like you're gonna chill and play NHL? What do you mean Chell?
No, it's just called Chell. It's just
like, does it say that on the box?
ELL. No, it's EA. And there's no good reason for it. I don't know why it's called Chell, but it's always been called Chell.
Is it like, hey, we're in Canada, so we're just gonna start throwing C's around? Like, yo, just Chell,
I got no explanation. It was just always Chell.
Okay, well that's wild. So yeah, anyway, exciting news in the Axie Dota crossover world. Team Secret. I hope they do more stuff with Axie. I'm excited. They're teasing me. Part of me just feels like they're teasing me right now. Like, hi, Zyori.
I think they are, yeah.
Look how cool this is.
You've left Dota.
Look at the potential that we have if we could work together. Too bad we're not going to work together.
Well, just see how the placing goes for TI, and then hit them up a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Yeah. You're like,
There
yo,
you
guys,
go.
you know what you should do with some of that cash? Man, interesting with the Team Secret Axie squad.
Yeah, I don't, dude. All right, well let's pivot again, I suppose. Let's talk about qualifiers. Let's talk about TI10, not the event, but the teams.
Woo!
What do we have to go? We still have two qualifiers to go, right? Western
Yep.
Europe and China, the two
Day
big ones.
one was today for both of those regions.
Okay.
So they remain undecided, but 4 regions have wrapped up. I was able to do Eastern Europe. You were doing South America. I
Yep.
did North America, and I think you didn't do C, right?
No,
No.
I'm too old.
Yeah, C wasn't.
Was C no fun?
I saw like the 5. No. C was insane.
Oh, yeah, C was amazing. Well,
Yeah.
longly amazing.
I have a patented Trent hot take about the C region. Actually, it's a 2-parter hot take.
Oh, good.
Hot take number 1: C Dota has always been this good. People just didn't watch it, and it's hilarious watching people act like they care about C Dota.
I believe we call those front runners, right? Now that
Yes.
it's popular,
I mean,
you go.
I am very happy that it got its time in the spotlight because Valve did this shifting of the schedule, but C-quals were just as hype last time.
Yeah. How many years
now-
did you, me, Lyrical, and Gods grind overnight casting these sick qualifiers where actually no one gave a shit at all?
Yeah,
in
no one
English?
cared.
It was so sad. Like
And they're always good.
That Genespris qualifier was like, is that best of 5? I still remember that shit. Like that was,
Dude, that moment when they tried to go for the throne. Oh my god.
that was. I mean, and to be fair, a lot of people did care about that, but that easily could have had twice the viewers, and it would have
more than that.
for
This
sure.
time, seriously, it would have been quadrupled with the way that they have the format now. The viewership for C was insane. It was so
yeah,
high.
you're probably right. Yeah.
Like easily quadrupled, not even close.
God damn it.
I know. So it's good. We're making positive change.
That's good. We're
Hot take
making
number
progress.
2, the games were so good because the teams were super, super nervous, way more nervous than the other regions, and they really, really sucked at holding their lead. Like, it was mostly because it was bad Dota. In the same sense that some of the worst Dota is played at TI, some of the worst Dota was also played in that C qualifier. There were so many throws, which is fun for the spectator, but to everyone act like C's on some other level because of how competitive it was is a little disingenuous. I agree, they're very good at Dota, but you can't be like, C's the best region in the world just because they threw a bunch of leads.
No, you totally
saying.
see that. Like anytime you look for like replay suggestions or hey, you should check this game out, it was really hype. About half the time you realize people's filter of what makes a hype game is just kind of based on the throws and the yelling and entertainment value. And it's like only a portion of those games are actually a result of good Dota, where it's not a throw, it's like the team defending makes a clutch defense and it catches the team that should have won off guard. Like that's different
That was
from
Viking today.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I'll say.
That's way different from just the hey, you should have won this, and then you guys clowned around and just lost because you're being idiots. Like what's happening right now? Just have some discipline. Come on, this is TI. Yeah, but yeah, what's happening in the Viking world, dude? One day qualifiers, and they're already the talk of the town. Are they going to be the dark horses for this TI?
No, they played like some really, really good games, especially game 1 versus OG.
Oh, they lost though. I see.
Yeah, they lost 2-1 to OG, but game 1 they held their high ground in very impressive fashion, and Shad was an absolute god.
Damn, they got double alked. That sucks. Game 2
they did,
and
yeah,
game
but that
3.
was Seb Alk,
Oh.
so it was like offlane Alk, and I thought it was pretty impressive.
Huh.
It's I think the Western Europe scene is going to be very interesting because of something that several teams have now mentioned is that no one was scrimming. So no one wanted to scrim each other because they're all going to be playing each other. And so everyone just kind of has their own boxed in ideas and people are just bringing it out. And they're just going to like start playing. So like, for instance, Liquid just opened in their 2-3 one of the games with a Snapfire Slardar, which are 2 heroes that like no one else has even picked, I don't think. I mean, maybe there were a couple snap picks or something, but like,
wow.
Like very, very openly like, oh, this is our good hero pairing that we like because they haven't even been scrimming and practicing some of that stuff. So
Okay. All right.
it should be very interesting on that front.
Well, that is exciting. So this Tundra squad, okay, they 2-0'd Brame, and they got Liquid next, and then Nigma and OG in the upper bracket. Yeah, good old Western Europe, man. Just as competitive as ever, eh?
Yeah, it's super hype. I mean, it's kind of awesome that it's separated again. I am happy about that once more. Same thing for C, why it's getting so much exposure. China is getting more exposure too. They had tons of viewers. You never see this kind of viewership for like the China DPC even. But because the games run a little bit before Europe, they get like a little bit of that like early European viewership.
You just
So
make
they
it
were
more
popped
convenient
off.
for people to tune in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Um,
is it finally B Cop's time? Is it happening? Has he for the last how many years has it been? Has finally B Cop found the compounding interest on his casting efforts where he's got the right region with the right people that need some English casters for the region. He's got the knowledge, he's got the willingness to destroy his sleep schedule, and now he's got the viewers, Trent. This
and now he's
man's got it
Black,
all.
too. People love the Peacock and Black combo.
Oh, that's the duo, eh? The double
Yep.
Bs.
Yep, they've been doing very well together.
B Cop Black, the BK squad.
Unfortunately, they're the two I get to see like the least because they're like just opposite my sleep schedule. I've been talking to Black a little bit because we're both playing Strive right now, though. Because he's
Really?
a Street Fighter player, so he already has fighting game
yeah.
experience. I guess he's very good, so he's already ascending very quickly in Guilty Gear.
You know, I think I did know that. He's good at picking up games in general, but I think I did know that he's got a knack for fighting games. Well, I guess the region nobody cares about, Trent. South America, you were
the NA.
the only one that was not on it, I think, that did the coverage from the season. Myself, Bowie, Gareth, 1437, and MrAvo all turned up. So yeah, you had fun over there in North America, I guess, Mr. Northerner.
I got kicked from Moxie because she's she wanted her SA baby.
Well,
so.
she did both, right? Or did she only do a little bit of NA?
Oh yeah, no, she did do a little bit of NA actually.
Maybe a little at the end after SA was over.
I
that could have
think
been it.
Around that time. But yeah, no, I don't know. They asked me to do NA. I wasn't offered anything but SA, so did some NA. Mostly did with lyrical. It was good.
I don't want to flame here, but I'm gonna a little bit because Purge joined in on South America. And he was pretty unapologetic about, like, I love Purge's sense of humor where it's sort of a joke, but it's more real than it's a joke. He's like, well, Moxie, as you can see on dotabuff.com, and then reads out some line. It's just like, there are a couple moments where I thought, I don't think Purge watched a single minute of our DPC coverage.
Sure he didn't.
I don't blame him for it, nor did I really expect, but it was just very funny to, like, there were a couple moments where, it was like me and Bowie were able to talk about like these memories from season 1 and kind of go deep. And just like the panels that I did with Purge had a totally different vibe where there's just, you take it for granted when you like spend all those hours together watching the same Dota games and being really like enthralled by them. And it was just coming in cold. A lot of backstory there. All the different names, all the name changes too. He's like, okay, so Mariano.
Yeah.
Poor
that's
guy.
true. I mean,
It was
it's
a lot
almost a
of fun,
good
though.
thing, honestly. It would be like, it'd be kind of weird if it was literally the exact same crew doing it. I almost feel like that wouldn't be perfect. It's almost better to have a new perspective come in. So
Yeah, you might be right about that.
Plus,
that's
it's
true.
Purge. Like, who gives a shit? Like, he's so good.
Mr.
He can do
Avo
whatever he
was the
wants.
real hero, though. He
I saw you talking about.
Yeah, he that was slightly embarrassing too because it was like right at the end before like the talent shift, and he popped into Discord 2 seconds before I started talking about him. So he thought I did it to like make him feel weird because he just joined Discord. But I had planned it out that morning because there's like a couple levels to it. All right. One, like I didn't know who this guy was. I'm gonna be totally honest here. All right. I'm like out of Dota, so I'm just gonna talk. Okay. He used to be Mr. D Swordfish or whatever,
Yes.
right? Or D Swordfish. He was introduced to me as like the E-Pulse caster. And I remember going, the fuck does that mean? What's an E-Pulse caster? It's like, oh, he works for E-Pulse and he's in our studio and he's gonna cast all of our tournaments. And then I don't know, like they do some small tournaments, but that's like a weird, like there aren't that many full-time employed Dota casters and you don't seem to have that much Dota content. I don't get it here. So I unfairly judged him and put him in this box of like, I don't even know what like your job is, but have fun in Malaysia. It's like, I don't know, cordial or whatever, but I just never really worked with him. I guess it was in the beginning of the DPC season. I had connected with him on Discord, and he just gave me some notes and some background, and then we did a podcast where he translated. Then after the podcast, we had like a follow-up conversation, and I just realized that he's a sleeper talent. He's an insanely smart guy. He's super like self-aware. He's really a bit of a masochist in a good way, where like he'll read Twitch chat, he'll take the hard criticism. Like if Moonduck were in its prime, I think he would be like 100% fit for our culture and work style in terms of being able to take it. He loves like good humor and like put down stuff, and he's just a very, very smart, thoughtful person that is
tell you one thing,
really good at broadcasting.
Dumbass can't work his mute button, Avo.
Oh yeah, what, hot mic?
Every single time we come back from a break, he's always muted. And this one is like a running joke, because then he'll be muted, so he'll start talking, and the stream can hear him, but Discord can't. So his co-caster can't hear a word he's saying. So you'll see him stop because he realizes, he leans over, he presses a button, he starts talking again, and he's still muted. That happens like 6 times a day. It's like, Avo, please.
You know, don't you proof your mixer? So, all right, the man's not perfect. But so all that, flaws. You know, just as like an English speaker or whatever, I found him. I love it. Every so often I podcast with somebody and then we end the show and it's like we just do another podcast that's not recorded. And sometimes I walk away from that like, damn, that's somebody I'd really like to do panels with if they know what they're talking about when it comes to Dota. So then the next layer, he is beyond an expert when it comes to South American Dota because he's a Spanish speaker and he does talent work in Spanish. So he knows the players, he's interacted with them, he's translated a lot of content, he's made a lot of content. So he's the resource next to Bowie. I mean, Bowie speaks Portuguese, right? So he knows the Brazil stuff better than Avo knows some of the Brazilians, but those two guys are like the bridge in terms of English speakers that know the real ground level
there are new
stuff.
Jack's been replaced.
And
we're going to the other side.
That's the third level of like Avo is doing these double shifts on like all these events. These last DPC seasons, he's been covering mostly in Spanish. And then this qualifier he did in English and in Spanish in different regions, running from game to game, broadcast to broadcast. And even amongst all that, he's still, I mean, he's a little sweaty. I can see him running from broadcast to broadcast, but I mean, he's still slaying it, right? He seriously knows his shit. He's good on camera. He's funny. He's good at engaging with the other talent. He can cast. He can host. He can analyze. He can sit on a desk. He can seriously do it all, man. I'm like not even trying to butter him up. Like legit, if Valve does not hire this guy for TI, I think it would be a serious shame. He is Jack Chen, but Spanish speaker, and then some, because Jack was never a caster, really, right? Jack would just do panel stuff. Avo could host. He could host a Spanish panel. He could host an English panel. He can do play-by-play in 2 languages. That's insane. That's not easy.
I mean, it sounds stupid, but nothing pays off more in Dota than just grinding. It is by far the fastest way to just get good.
Yeah.
Like people, I get the sense people have no clue where I came from, which makes sense because where did I come from? Like that's honest to God, I literally popped out of Twitch chat.
I think the woods in Canada.
Yeah. I was a total nobody who just saw Dota and wanted to do something in it, and now I saw this the other day. So now I'm looking. I actually have the most English games recorded on that Dota.
Wow.
I like a lot.
I'm actually not surprised.
is ahead of me, unfortunately. But keep in mind that obviously people who are on LAN all the time, it's not going to be quite as close. But to be fair, even with the LAN stuff factored in, I'm like really far ahead. I have like 2,043 games on that Dota recorded as me casting, plus games where I wouldn't have been in the lobby. And grind makes you good, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, caps, I have double cap. Actually,
well, I mean, to be fair, he's been off the grind recently. If you think about the last 2 years, there has not been that much cap on camera in-game casting compared to the years leading up to that. I don't know.
Well, keep in mind his lands and stuff too. Like he's probably not in the lobby half the time. He also plays. See, that's why it's important that I have such a big number.
True.
Making that big number doesn't make me the best caster. That number is what I need because I don't cast, or I don't play Dota. Like I don't play solo.
What a great analyst you would be if that's the hill that you were going to die on. I have done the most, therefore I am the greatest. Sorry, Cinderin, bow before me, sir.
I should put it on my Twitter profile.
Number 1 Dota caster by number of games cast. Yeah, you should. That'd be
I'll just start listing casters who are below me. I'll put their number there too. You
need to just start passive aggressively tweeting that chart like every month with the tally update. It's like another 2% margin for old Trent in the bag.
I did just pass RU Obs number 2, so watch out, world. I'm coming.
Look out! I mean, shit. That's got to be multiple humans. That's not fair. Even look at you moving up in the world. But the qualifiers were pretty good. I mean, they were nice and smooth. I have to say, buddy, I love this new world of you just dial in. Producing and doing talent work is for suckers. I mean,
it's like obsing and casting. It's for suckers.
This is the absolute dream. You call up, you go, hey guys, webcam's on. All right, I'm gonna go get some breakfast, and then you come back and you do your stuff, and then you say, see you later, and it's someone else that gets to pull all the levers, and I just get to focus on talking. I don't have to think about mic levels. Dude.
Yep. And then you're home. It's good.
It's been good, though. Really good. I've transferred that energy forward. We did an AMA for Axie that I hosted, 2 weeks ago or something, and in my head, that's how I wanted to set it up for my coworkers. That it's like, all right, all you guys have to do is call in, and then we'll start like 2 minutes after that, and then the show's done, and that's it. I'll do everything else. Total turnkey. And when you can do that, it is a pretty pleasing... I kind of get why people do production. When it all works, it does feel really good.
Very satisfying.
It really is. Like, when you have that final piece, and it's like, guys, that was just a solid, well done. That's like, we kind of hit all the boxes. No surprises. That's a great feeling. I love getting some of that energy.
I would do production, but I feel like I'd be robbing the world of my talents. So,
well, I mean, yeah.
Can you imagine me off camera? God,
no.
What a sin that would be.
No, I can't.
Never.
Observer. Well, I guess that was Statsman Trent. There you go.
That's true. Yeah, literally wormed my way to Statsman Trent onto the camera. I think it's hilarious. That was my plan all along. That actually worked. Easy.
I mean, touche, my friend. Touche.
Thank you.
You definitely had a strategy. I had another announcement written down, and I've forgotten what it is. What else has happened in the world of Dota?
Oh, well, I did see that you retweeted the thing that Phil said, and I thought that was very interesting.
Yes.
Because we talked about that a little off camera.
That is exactly what I was thinking of.
I know. I'm in your head, dude. I know how you think.
Yeah, you really are. I want to pull up the tweet, but is he Philip? Is that why I can't find it?
Yes, he's just Philip_Aram. So yeah, guys, as you know, TI has been announced for October 7th to 17th, as we said earlier. But Phil, used to be EG Phil, has since left. He's now head of the Players Union, I believe, for LCS. Is that correct? For the NALC, home of the LCS's Players Association. Yeah.
Yes.
Run by and for NA League of Legends Pro Players. So he is the head of that. So he's out of Dota, which gives him a little bit more space to speak of it. And he said that most contracts for Dota teams expire in September. So, guys, what does that mean if your team's now going to TI in October? You got leverage.
Yeah. This is where the crossover of business and art happens. You know what I mean? It's like to give a Moonduck anecdote, right? Most businesses, when you start, like when you go to file the paperwork, you write a thing called an operating agreement, right? And an operating agreement is just a blank canvas. You can put basically anything in there for the most part when it comes to LLCs in terms of how you want to govern this thing, right? Like, what do you have a board of directors? Do you have one person that's in charge? Just how do you vote on stuff? What shit do you vote on? All those kinds of things. And we didn't have one for a while. And when we made one, it was kind of just like, yeah, we'll figure it out. That was kind of just what we wrote in there. Like, we're all agreeable. That was our operating agreement.
That was, yeah.
And like, now there were times where that sucked and it was like a little scary and some people weren't sure exactly where they stood, like in the pecking order, when that should have been made really clear in like a cap table. But being able to like just move stuff around and, you know, after a year and a half, just say, hey guys, should we all just reassess the cap table? Yeah, sure. Okay, let's come up with a thing. Then afterwards, are we all okay with this? Well, yeah, if we all agree, then we can do whatever we want. Sure, cut Suns fan shares in half. Fuck him, let's do it. If Suns fan himself agrees, we can do it. All right, consensus. This is a powerful thing. So like that flexibility is a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways, but it can be a great power if you really are on the same page and agree. I think Phil hit this one on the head. I think so much is structured around the regularity. Like, Trent, we talked about this in so many past podcasts, and this was why DPC is good and why COVID mysteriousness and Valve silence was so bad, because regularity is the main thing that we plan around, like these player swap sanctioned times. You know, the TI qualifiers always happening within the same 3 or 4 week period. TI always happening within the same 3 or 4 week period. People after 10 years look at those data points and go, well, it's a pretty safe assumption that TI is going to happen within these dates again. So you build infrastructure around that. You build contracts. You make business deals. You make sponsorship deals. You move money around at strategic times around these major events in the Dota 2 space. And TI, obviously, it's the major of the major. So you would hope that most parties involved, given the craziness of the times and how unprecedented this is and how we all know Valve definitely didn't want to have to postpone this event to October, most sides will be able to just say, hey, guys, can we just kind of do like a +3 on this? Can we just get an extension and then, you know, kind of pretend that September is the, you know, or like November is the new September or something? Can we get like a mulligan on the timeline of this thing? And you'd figure most teams that's going to work out. But when you come to a head, you go to the black and white, man. And that's where the business side comes in. You burn the art and follow the contract. And somebody gets fucked. Somebody gets left holding the bag, man.
Well, that's everything. What team is the most vulnerable to this, I wonder, out of the teams that are currently guaranteed to TI?
Great question.
Who would not be necessarily, like, are there any orgs that aren't pulling their weight? I mean, honestly, the question is probably just going to be one of the SA orgs. Right?
Well, I don't know, because Beast Coast and Thunder Predator, I actually, to me, Beast Coast is a bit of a black box. Like, I know the management, the English-speaking side. I really don't know anything about the players. Like, I've talked to Guashi a little bit, so I've gotten the like manager interface, but you know, there's a filter there, you know. Like, I've never interviewed a Beast Coast player, but I've talked to multiple people at Thunder Predator, both on the org side, on the player side, and I think Thunder Predator's pretty happy. I think their squad is pretty friendly. They talk about the energy that the team has, and like Leo Style is like a big jokester and stuff. And I think the org has a good reputation, and they really make an effort to take care of the players. So that one would surprise me. And
well, that can all be true, but how much do you think? I guess the question is, what orgs are most likely to take a TI cut that you could now negate?
So here's the thing.
To me, it's those three.
So It's one of those inverted things where, because it's been so extreme historically, where so many teams in South America have gotten so fucked by orgs taking massive percentages, the reason that Beast Coast and Thunder Predator are tier 1 orgs in South America and have player loyalty and are less susceptible to this is because they take lower cuts. I don't know what cuts they take, but I think they look at the tier 1 scene and model after that rather than, you know, the quote SA model in the past of 50% plus that goes to the org. Yeah. So your head's in the right place, but I think for these two specifically, that's what makes them stand apart, is shit like that. So I don't know, man. That's a tough call. And Undying's not an org, right? That's just players.
Yeah. Just think Pink brings up another angle that I'd never even considered, is that some teams' contracts are going to run out, and they could rebuy before TI. So any team that didn't qualify in a region that's like a moderately large name could theoretically pick up one of these empty squads.
So you mean like Alliance's team says, "See you later, losers," and then
Well, let's say someone who didn't qualify. So like, because like Alliance are guaranteed, right?
yeah.
So like, you pick a team in any region that has like a decent, I don't know, but like let's just pretend that TNC, for example, was like, oh well, our team didn't make it. So your contracts run out in September. We're gonna sign Quincy Crew.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Like if,
There's not many orgs that can really do that, honestly.
It's like, what is Liquid gonna dump their team if they don't qualify?
Nah, they're too devoted, dude. Liquid is my gold standard of org right now. I don't care if this team doesn't even need to qualify to TI, and I think they're the most valuable team in Dota.
No, they're rock solid.
Their content is so good. I mean, maybe it's just because our scene doesn't appreciate content the way it should. But honest to God, the vlogs they've been putting out, you guys need to go watch those things. I was talking about them on stream today.
I wonder if China might be the most susceptible because they have the most infrastructure around their contracts and the most serious like buyout player enforcement. Like is it Ace still or whatever?
Yeah, they would get blacklisted, dude. You can't mess around. In China, they have no options. They're just
but that's what I mean. Where if they can't, like, depending on who has leverage, it's all just business. So if they can't come to an agreement, then something could split. Is my angle on it? So that's what I mean. If like they can't fuck people over.
Yeah, the players have no power in China, I don't think. Because I mean, we saw it happen to Wings. To me, that whole thing is like, I don't want to mess with that. I think if they get offered the plus 3 months till TI, then they'll just say yes.
That's also true. It's like the players are so valuable in China also, and they have very large salaries at that caliber. So maybe you're right. God, maybe does this actually affect any teams?
I don't think so.
Now that you say that, like you're right. Phil said that, and I was like, wow, this is really astute. And now I'm looking at this, and like SG, I think is even similar. Like everything I said about Thunder Predator, SG is just the Brazilian version of that. Like they are the org
that it could affect. I think T1 should ask for higher numbers. Like, let's say their contract's running out. They should ask for more money. I don't think they will because T1 is a prestigious org outside of Dota. I don't know how many Dota fans know this. T1 is one of the biggest esports brands on the planet.
Yes.
Like, they're very, 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 very popular. But Dota players are all isolated. They don't watch other games. They don't care about other games. They don't care about other brands. They don't watch team content. Dude, they don't care.
They're sponsored by Nike and BMW. Like,
they're
come on, man.
Everything. They're huge.
They're
absolutely massive.
Yes.
So they have money to throw around, and I guarantee these guys are not getting paid what they're worth. Because, like, let's be real, T1 ventured into Dota, and I appreciate that, but
You're
I would
probably
hope
right.
that they can throw some more money at them.
You
So
probably
they
got
would
a
be
good
read. Virtus Pro, theoretically.
Yeah.
I mean, they could ask for more money. I'm not saying we should like leave their team, but there might be a chance for some harder negotiations here.
Quincy Crew, they might finally demand that Jack
Get
does
some
something.
more from Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Jack, you got to finally sign us to an org.
I can't believe 100 Thieves hasn't picked up Quincy Crew yet. Just do it already. Jeez.
Yeah.
Get your free Dota merch out, man.
I'm with you.
How is Melk working at 100 Thieves and we still haven't got a team? Like, what are you even doing over there? Worthless. Jacob, come on.
I mean, maybe Spirit. I guess I know very little about the back end of Team Spirit, what those players look like relative to the org. In my head, I think of Spirit as one of the smaller orgs, but they've been around for long enough now, founded in 2015. They've got like a real presence. They've moved their way up from tier 2 to tier 1.5 for sure. And now I guess that they're kind of in tier 1 league. I mean, legitimately. So, yeah, they're also sponsored.
A nice little Christmas.
Is Nike just like a normal esports sponsor now? They also sponsor Spirit.
Do they though? I feel like someone just puts that on their pages.
Well, you make points that I can't refute. Yeah, Nike might give them some free sneakers.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
What do you think?
You never know. It's like StarLadder having all the free Coke cans.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I don't know. They just got a small-time Coke sponsorship. They got Coke everywhere you go to StarLadder. It's great.
Yeah.
I got no explanation for it.
What did you think of I know this is like ancient news now, but, we only talk so much. What did you think about the last WePlay event? Was it the last? It was the major, right?
The Animajor shit was dope.
I got
extremely good.
ESL was right after, right? Animajor into
Yes.
ESL. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Animajor was amazing. I don't really know what else to say. Honest to God, that was like.
Was
some
it
of the
too
best.
dope? Is it
Was
weird? Well, like, how did they spend more on their set than we spent on like multiple events combined? Their set guy bragging on Twitter, that shit made
Dude, that
me
picture was
hurt.
the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, which
I
one are you
loved it.
talking about?
The one with him doing the little pose.
Oh, yeah,
that
okay.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we're talking about. How can we be talking about anything else?
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Well,
And he was bragging and he was like mocking ESL one summer, like they came up with the idea that ESL would have the audacity to do a summertime tournament.
Haven't you
And
seen my swim shorts, you idiots? Oh my god, dude. That was like
Oh my god, that was so funny.
that double back of the
That was the funniest tweet I've ever seen in my life.
It's
and
all
Frankie
just
was
jokes.
going in on this guy.
I'm like, yeah, jokes. These are hysterical. Not for the reasons you think they are. This is so fucking stupid. My god.
Yeah, that was a good one. That guy, he got taken in a little bit that day. Yeah, let the guy have his time.
I mean, so here's the thing. That's part of what makes it hard is that guy's actually probably really good at his job, right? That set was sick, and if he actually designed all that stuff, like, well done. I don't even think the guy is the issue. You know, it's like if you give him a huge budget and he slays it, sure, have some bragging rights. The problem is the layer above that of one should ask like, that is a lot of material. Why did we spend this much money to build a anime castle?
People asked them on Reddit, and their response is that they are investing in the future of esports because they believe that it is it's a worthwhile investment. I mean,
no, that sounds great when you can't see the numbers.
Exactly, but then the numbers come out, and you're like, my goodness. You should have bought some Bitcoin, my friend. We're going to have many more Dota tournaments to be done around that time.
I mean, the production quality was sick. I like the really fluid transactions of like the talent sitting at the bar and stuff. I think like
so good.
That aspect, wholeheartedly agree. That is like a great example of investing in a future concept of like, hey, if this could be our standard for every event, this is like a badass transition that makes people say wow and just makes the whole show feel fluid. And to do that, we need to build a big set. Okay, I'm with you to that point. But then there's still orders of magnitude after that. You know, there's a difference between spending 10K, 100K, 500K on a set for a single event. You know, or a million K. So yeah, I was just that it stood out to me. You're into the brands? You're into the costumes?
Yeah. I mean, I'm down with the idea of being provided outfits, not to pack suits. Yeah, I'm in.
The numbers don't lie because I hear a handful of people say like I'm not watching that cringy shit because I want to see just normal talent and not these costumes. But when you look at the numbers and the viewership and the hype around it, it's like for every one of you, there's like 10 of people that think this is the coolest shit ever from what I've observed.
Oh, those people are lying anyway. They're going to watch the games anyway. Give me a break. No one's going to turn off the games of what we're wearing.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably. But it seems to be a huge net gain. So I think more power to them. Although it's a little like, it's like a 12 out of 10, and I would say maybe turn it down to like 9 out of 10, and we'd be in the sweet spot if I were like the creative director. But
I mean, to be fair, you could have ran a tournament with like CTRs or CRTs and like this grainy ass feed, and you would have got the same viewership in this year. I think like this is the freest year ever for online viewership. People are so thirsty for Dota content that literally whoever ran that major was going to get the biggest numbers ever. I think WePlay did an amazing job. But at the end of the day, everyone is just it's like how people are addicted to playing Dota no matter what the patch is. They're also addicted to just watching it. So WePlay did an amazing job. It was the best major I've ever seen. I also believe that the most likely time to get the highest viewership ever was this time period.
It was. You're definitely right that the environment was prime for a hype event, and Dota was in a spot to lead into some like really exciting stuff, team wise and gameplay wise. So yeah, fair enough. That's totally that makes it's like a better base to amplify with all the stuff that they put on top.
Yeah, I'll throw in my criticisms because Titita has a great point. The ending was horrendous.
It just kind of cut, right? I think I was watching.
Yeah, so they had a couple huge problems. Number one, they tried to get away with in-house observers on a major. Just don't. Dota's very hard to observe. If people can notice when the observing's bad on like some shitty side tournament, like don't try it a major. Like CSGO. I saw the guy, don't go on Reddit. Also, if you are an in-house observer, please. He was like, I'd love to, please. He was asking for timestamps of when he missed kills and he messed up. And I was like, dude, you got to log off right now. Get off Reddit. So like,
I don't know what you'll do with this information, but I can guarantee it won't help you.
I guarantee this is not going to end well for you. So eventually they caved and they're like, we're so pleased to announce that we've brought on Scrim and Pinbuckle. I'm like, oh, wow, we got busted. Using our in-house observer, and we're very pleased to announce we'll be spending more money. So that did make me laugh.
Didn't they all do the private jets for the Chinese teams because of the visa thing?
They did. Yes, that was also crazy.
Again, Trent, I admire the dedication. I admire that they made it happen. And it's like it wasn't.
Say it, Zyori. I want to be hired.
It wasn't their fault that like the Chinese teams had visa issues, but staggering amounts of money, huge. Like, what do you think it cost to charter a private jet from China to Kiev? 100 grand, 200 grand. Is that? I mean, I don't even know if that's like a good ballpark number. I have
$70. From what I actually researched it because I was curious, and it's not that bad for the approximate type. It's like 1.5 to 1.7x your normal ticket cost. You could charter a flight that would get all those people there.
That's it?
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. When you think about all the overhead and stuff of like airports and like the idea that you're just booking a ticket and you don't do anything else. When you charter a plane and you have all these passengers and stuff and you have this bulk discount, that was what the math worked out to for one that I looked up.
That sounds way too cheap. I mean, maybe my numbers were
think
like
about
crazy
1.7x. I mean, that's still really high. It's almost double the cost of a normal ticket.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, I just still would have thought it'd be a lot more than that for like what is this, like a 10, 15 person plane or something? I mean, it's not a lot of humans.
What? No, these were big planes. I think they got a huge plane.
Oh, so they just did one giant plane and loaded all of them up in one.
Yeah.
I
think they did. I think I might have heard there were two. I can't remember.
Two giant.
They were pretty
planes.
big planes. Yeah.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
yes, it is expensive.
They made it work. I mean, you got to give the shout out to getting the players there. I mean, that is some dedication. I like when I first saw that news break, I almost thought it was like some kind of Dota like Onion article of like, wow, okay. I've never even seen a private jet in real life, let alone like flown in one. I mean, wowzers.
And then, of course, the ending.
Oh, yeah.
I read. Okay, now you're more into the know about this than I am. But is there any merit to this idea of cutting the stream at its peak because of the concurrent viewer numbers hurt you? Because that was the excuse people were throwing down in everything I was reading.
If you stick around for, like, let's say you leave the stream on for another 30 minutes and you go down from, like, 150K to 50K, and then that hurts your average numbers?
Yeah.
Is that the argument?
Because, that was the argument.
That sounds...
But didn't they just do like a 10-hour stream and at max that's like an extra 20 minutes for an interview? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I think that's like deleting Word files for hard drive space argument. It's like a drop in the bucket because you look at the metrics of the whole event usually, and on the finals mostly they just care about the peak. Like I don't think anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
The average is like averaged out, so who cares?
I think the main issue was they didn't have a translator, right? That was the issue. So I think that there was literally the call on production of just like, hey, if they win, then we're not doing an interview.
This fucking guy. Trent, you're really smart. You know that?
Dude, they didn't. They never interviewed a single Chinese player the whole tournament.
Trent, you have stumbled onto something that so many events like...
We did it, didn't we?
Yes, but that's because we're broke.
Did we interview a cap? Were we going to interview a Cavs draft of secret loss?
Yeah, remember Jack was there. We had a translator.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He was
we
there.
flew
You're
in
right.
Jack.
One.
We're broke
okay,
and we still planned for it. You know why? Because we actually give a shit about international Dota, Trent. Because we are not these Western frontrunner assholes that just look at what's happening in Western Europe and go, oh my God, the whole world revolves around Secret and Alliance. No, we look at holistic Dota. We know some of the best Dota in the world comes from South America, Southeast Asia, North America, China. Hello. And we were prepared to get the inside scoop. We brought the man that had the knowledge. This tournament that thought to charter 2 private jumbo jets, Trent. They spent $1 billion on a glowy floor and sneakers for all the talent that have those little lights in them when you walk. And they didn't think to bring a single person that speaks Mandarin to do it on camera. Like, come on, man. Come on. And they really care about Dota.
Hey, they care about Dota. They said it. I've seen it tweeted several times.
Yeah.
Leave WePlay alone, Andrew. I'm going to defend them against you, okay?
Well, then why didn't they bring a translator? That is indefensible. That is indefensible. How many Chinese teams are at this event? 1, 2.
There's COVID restrictions.
3, 4.
People are hard to get in.
You had 4 Chinese teams there, dude.
They didn't have observers, okay? They couldn't get a translator on short notice.
4 of the 18 teams. We saw this at that Vegas event.
Oh, yeah, that is true. I did hear this as well. Cap said that someone messed up and they set off the fireworks when they weren't supposed to. So they just canned it.
Oh.
So that also could have been part of the reasoning, too.
So, like, there was an error or whatever, and they had to pull the ejector seat?
Because someone got cut off. I was kind of watching it, and it got all weird, and then they just kind of, like, threw. And so it was fine.
I got a similar sense. My first thought was not like this was the plan. My first thought was, oh wow, they actually had to hit the button. You never hit the button. Like the event always has a kill switch, right? There's always like, oh shit, just all right, throw it to the thing, and it's like, okay, I guess we're just rolling the credits now. Like you never want that to happen, but wow, I didn't think about fireworks going off wrong. That's scary.
Well, I mean, just at the wrong time. It was just out of sync, not dangerous. Just
well,
like, you know.
I mean,
but I guess that can be dangerous with fireworks.
I don't know. I've had some close for comfort calls. I think at the DAC I went to, fireworks went off when we were standing on the stage, and I had no idea fireworks were going to go off, and it was kind of like, I don't know, man. I pretty easily could have just been standing there. I was just, moping around. Yeah, I don't have a good explanation for you. It was just weird. I would give them the benefit of the doubt on that one. I don't know why you'd want to cut the stream prematurely. I think it's nice to do a wrap-up.
But yeah, anyway, it did kind of put a little bit of a sour taste at the end of an amazing event.
Well, yeah, it's like interview, and it's also nice to bring the host back just to do a proper closeout. It's like you don't have to do like a cheesy thank you for watching, but it's nice to just like have
we always do.
You simmer a little, right? It's like you think about the story arc. It goes up. The finals happen, that crazy moment. You're up here, like your adrenaline's peaking. You want somebody to kind of hold your hand a little bit as you come back down. You want to see Shiver's face. You want to have that calming presence of the panel to like, hey, that was cool. All right, everybody breathe. There's going to be more Dota. And like it brings you back down to level. If you just cut it when you're up high, it's like the roller coaster going out before you're done the final dip. And you're like, wait, but I'm just, oh, okay.
They went for the shoot off into space, like you just launch off the roller coaster, which is another route, to be honest.
So, yeah. But
I saw some people saying, I don't care. I'm glad it's just over. That was hype as hell. So, I mean, it's true. The events are never that good. The ends are never that good. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Except for Captain's Draft. That was the best ending of all time.
Has there ever been a good winners interview in Dota? Probably. But I can't think of one that has stood out that was particularly good. They're usually
outside
pretty
of
awful.
TI. The TI ones are good. It's anything outside of TI that's bad.
Yeah, TI doesn't
That's just
count.
because TI carries anything. It's like the Stanley Cup. People just cry on camera, and it's
right. It's too intense. Like you're just riding that roller coaster with them. But like every winners interview, like all the Dota pit lands I've done, the winners interview is like Yeah, we won. We like Dota. We're gonna go home and play more Dota.
It's actually so scarily accurate.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with the money? Probably.
Yes, they played very well.
Probably save it. I respect the other team.
Probably save it.
I mean, it's not even.
I don't really buy anything.
I'm not even trying to flame. Line. It's like actually, I always think
true.
it's going to be an interesting question. What are you going to do with the money? Like, are you going to buy? You just got $100,000 in your pocket. Are you going to do
Disney
something?
World.
No, I'm gonna. I would upgrade my computer, but I already did that. It's got 3 graphics cards, and I just play Dota, so I don't really. Like simple folks, man. Dota's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do. All right, hit us with your show and game recommendations, Trent. Let's close it out. What do you got? What are you playing and what are you watching, dude? That's
all right. Well, first off, I watched Bo Burnham's Inside, and I just want to say that,
dude.
To everyone, okay, I don't actually know. Maybe I'm just crazy, and some people are gonna watch it and hate it. But to me, I thought that was such an important piece, even if it is just comedy. I thought it was so good. Like, it was more than just a bunch of stupid songs. I think it really helped capture some of the parts about lockdown, especially for people who would have been like, because it simulated someone being alone. You know what I mean?
Yes. It was very meta with multiple layers to the meta of like simulated being alone and like sort of the struggle of being a creative and anybody that does anything performative, and also like displaying amazing, like pretty cool cinematography for something he filmed actually by himself. So and the songs, like the writing is really good, and that captures a whole element of like some of the comedy bits of like the unpaid intern and like his little streamer bits. Funny. Some of those had me holding my sides. Like, yeah, thanks for the 10 months there. Like the jaded streamer guy. Oh my god, that character had me dying.
The void of the camera really got to me. Which I don't. That probably won't resonate with like a lot of people as compared to like people like us who do this as like a job. But just that slow zooming in on nothing but like the black void camera and this dark shitty room was so exactly what my experience has been like. Like working from home right now, I am looking at you guys through nothing but this tiny black camera. And I don't know what you're thinking about what I'm saying right now. I don't know how you're reacting. I don't know if you like me. I don't know if you hate me. That is what it's like sometimes to just like do content to Dota streams. And I felt that like so hard watching that. It was very weird.
Yeah.
It really hit me just from that.
I had a weird moment where I was podcasting or something and I was staring into my camera and I had that same thought. I was like, God damn, this thing is just like a black hole. I had one of those like mini I had a 10-second existential crisis on a podcast and then snap back to reality like, holy fuck, I think that Netflix special said something to me. Oh man. Now what was weird for me though, I mentioned this to you, I did not like it when I first watched it. I didn't hate it, but I was like really 50-50 where I just wasn't ready for it. And I watched it with somebody else online. And afterwards, the person I watched it with said, I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I was like, it was a little too campy. I don't know. And then it weirdly stuck with me. And then I noticed the songs were on Spotify and I listened to the whole album again and went, these lyrics are actually way better than I thought. And then I started watching the videos again and went, these videos are way better than I thought. And then I watched the whole thing again and went, this thing flows so seamlessly. And then it just clicked. I think this is a masterpiece. I think it's not for everyone, but it's really a masterpiece. It's funny. It's real. It makes you think. It's got everything. So fucking go Bo Burnham. I went on a little rabbit hole with him. I didn't know how interesting his backstory was. Like I
didn't really know anything.
He had like anxiety issues and stuff, and like his H3H3 podcast, I thought was very good, super entertaining.
But yeah, that was definitely the best thing I've watched lately.
Yeah,
I haven't really watched anything other than that. I'm trying to think in my back of my head. I don't think so. I rewatched Rush Hour. That was pretty funny.
Oh,
I think going back and watching something you watched when you were a kid and you're like, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
go Jackie Chan.
I've been watching a little King of the Hill.
Oh, what? You're on the King of the Hill train?
A little bit. So that's you saying that reminded me of like I kind of like I watched enough Bob's Burgers that I didn't finish it yet, but I watched most of it. And I was looking for another like kind of adulty cartoon, And King of the Hill it's so much better than I remember. It was so ahead of its time. Mike Judge was
beyond
a genius.
He is a genius.
It's insane.
And it's the best writing of any cartoon show ever. And I said that when I was like 18, and I was thinking about that like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was like, was it really that good? And I rewatched all King of the Hill, and I said, yes, it is the best writing. It slays me.
It captures.
Absolutely kills me.
It's such a time capsule, and then it's like a social commentary that still is applicable today, but really does capture. Like Hank is just the perfect. That insecure male, like that stereotype archetype that he fills, it's too perfect. It's too real. It's
so
one
good.
of the only cartoons that sometimes if I'm watching it in the background and like working on my computer and I'm kind of just listening, I sort of forget that it's a cartoon. You know what I mean? Like it almost feels real the way the writing is if you're just sort of listening to it. It's yeah. So I haven't been watching anything. That's how we're getting old, dude. We're just rewatching the same old shit. Like,
oh, I know.
Wow.
They're gonna make shows for us, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, Super Smash Brothers Melee HD for $89.99." Well, I gotta buy that. I love that game as a kid.
Yeah,
I've been on a bit of that.
I keep hearing recommendations for shows on Disney Plus that are supposed to be really good from people whose reviews I kind of trust, but I just don't see myself buying Disney Plus. You know, I don't know if that's value.
I'd rather just pay for single things at a time than go the subscription route.
Yeah. I did just watch The Invention of Lying with Ricky Gervais. You ever see that one?
Yes, I watched that with my dear wife when we probably like our first year of dating.
Oh,
my favorite line, or not even line, but at one point a transfer truck drives by and on the side it says Pepsi for when they don't have Coke. And I thought that was very good. That sold the movie for me.
I was watching it with somebody who hadn't seen it before, and I love that movie because it always clicks for everyone at a slightly different point of, oh, it's a movie about religion being stupid. Oh, okay. Oh, all right, man. Okay, all right. Now, oh, okay. I'm into it. I want to see where this is going. It's like that's what makes it good. It starts strong and then it starts to fall off a little bit and becomes a bit of a sleeper. And then right as you're kind of about to turn it off almost, it kicks you with the, okay, now I like where we're going with this stupid movie. This stupid movie's got it's punching. It's solid. I like Ricky Gervais. He cracks me up.
Speaking of religion movies, completely random. Did you ever see Dogma?
Oh yeah, Kevin Smith, dude. Oh fuck yeah, that's a top 20.
I haven't seen that in like I don't even know 15 years probably. When did that even come out? 90s?
95, 96.
Oh my god.
Oh dude,
no way. No.
The cast is unbelievable.
99. Gotta be 90. 99. Sniped
okay,
it.
99.
Right.
You're right. You're right.
I wasn't that far off. We had the I guess it would have been the DVD probably. I don't even know.
Jason Lee, Alan Rickman, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Oh baby.
And what's her name? Who played Alanis Morissette is God, right?
Yep. Alanis Morissette is God. It's perfect. It's amazing.
Oh,
she doesn't
man.
speak because the sound of God's voice makes humans' heads explode because it's so powerful. It overwhelms them to the point of explosion. No, that movie is great. It's such a good commentary. That is one of the most, especially for that time, and that he's bashing on Catholicism. It's not that hateful, but it really gets a lot of good pokes in, and the writing is just, oh God, I might have to watch that tonight.
Yeah,
dude.
I might have to watch.
You might have just.
I honestly haven't watched that in 15 years. We might have to do a Dogma rewatch.
It's that good. I mean, especially with poor Alan Rickman.
Matt
rest
Damon
in peace.
and oh god, it's gonna be so good. Now I'm excited.
Loki. Yeah, there's like those moments where it's like it's got that slight Tarantino vibe. I was just listening to the Tarantino on Joe Rogan earlier, which is actually pretty good. You know, they mostly just talk about movies. It's interesting to hear Quentin Tarantino in that kind of candid environment. But it has some of that just like regular dialogue from like really characters you wouldn't expect it from. You know, Matt Damon's Loki, the Angel of Death, are arguing about his past stuff and like the story about why he pisses off God is he gets drunk and then gives him the finger and throws down the fiery sword.
Yeah.
So
Bloody
they send him to Earth,
Jesus, dude.
and they punish
I forgot
him.
about that.
Yeah, they punish him by sending him to Wisconsin and cutting his genitals off. and making sure he can't imbibe alcohol or any intoxicants. So he just has to sit around watching humans do nothing.
Oh my god, dude!
It's so genius. Like the
That's
little
so long ago.
the little things like that. Oh god, I love Kevin
Oh
Smith.
yeah, that's who he plays. He's the apostle after the Bible. I was trying to remember who he played in that movie. Oh my god.
Chris Rock is in it. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot he's the apostle. He's
Yeah.
not. He doesn't get a book.
What is it? He's the what? How many is he? The 16th apostle, or however many there
12th?
are? He's the
11th, 13th.
He's the extra one that nobody wrote about. Oh, there's some good ones in there.
Did you know? I don't know if we've ever discussed this. Did you know that I read scripture every single week at my church growing up until I was like 17?
I don't think I knew that. Of all the things that we've talked about, you grew up reading scripture?
I went to a church of 13 people. Or, 13 plus us. It oscillated between like 13 to like 18, depending on the week. But by the time I was like 14, we were the only kids that still went. So at some point, I was like, running the Sunday school for people and stuff, and reading scripture. And I remember when I was probably like 12, I'd have to get up and it was a good way to practice public speaking because I was reading scripture for the whole congregation by the time I was like 11 or something.
True that.
And so I had to go and do the scripture or whatever, and I was like 11 or 12 years old. And I remember in one of the lines, it was like, "You must love God more than your family." And I was like, I don't love God more than my family. I was like, maybe religion's not for me. I think that's when it broke for me. I guess the day Trent quit, and then I just kept reading scripture. And, for the United Church of Canada is a wonderful thing. I'm sure I will put my kids through some of their stuff, and they teach love and no hate, and that's fine. There are some valuable lessons you can get from the community of church, but
when did you stop being forced to read it, like on the reg?
I read it. I was the only person who could do it. They were so old, Zyori. I was doing them a service. I just read it until I left for university. I was there on the Sunday mornings reading the scripture, unless I was away playing sports.
Yeah, my ex used to play piano at the Korean Catholic Church, and she was atheist.
I had to press play on the cassette. The cassette from the local pianist. Because we didn't have a piano player.
Well, we didn't have a piano. We had a cassette player. Oh my god! But she used to tell me, like, I don't agree with the lyrics, so I just play the piano and try not to listen. I used to think that was actually kind of funny. Like, I kind of,
that was basically me.
I'm down to participate and like I'll kind of help out. I'm an okay piano player, but I'm not really down with the verses, if you know what I'm saying. That's God, that's so funny though. I can picture little Trent with the recorder, just like,
I got to get the right one, put it on the right side, fold it in, press play. Oh no, wrong song.
Oh God, that's so good.
Oh jeez, man.
To be young.
God was a real dick. If you guys actually read the Bible, I don't know if I've definitely read the Bible cover to cover.
A lot of suffering in there.
A lot of suffering. I think reading the Bible is the surest thing to turn people off. I think that's like a phrase or something, but that's definitely true. Although Revelation fucks. I'll tell you that much. You guys ever want to read a book of the Bible, read Revelations. That shit is wild.
Wow.
Gonna highly recommend.
I'm a little surprised though. I can't believe you've read the whole thing. I've read very little. I've read some small excerpts. I've read the first couple pages. What's the first sentence?
Genesis.
Then God made everything. Is that the first sentence?
Is that what it is? In the beginning there was nothing or something, and then I don't remember what it is. It's been a couple, probably last time I read it would have been like 16 or 17, just for shits and giggles.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Classic opener. Classic opener. Really set the stage for the whole thing we got going on here, man. Look at that. So
Revelation's pretty hype.
Small funny anecdote before we wrap up. I just got back from North Carolina, right? I'm double vax now, so I can fly, visiting the fam in NC. Yeah, I'm no longer a Jersey guy. No, I no longer have any family members that live in New Jersey.
Oh, weird.
Well, okay, I have some extended family members, right? But like
the cousins or whatever.
All my fam, all my grandparents, aunts, uncles, everything, like we're out of Jersey. Everybody's moved. A lot of them are in North Carolina now.
Who went first? Your sister, and then everyone followed?
Yeah. my stepmom is from North Carolina, so I guess she's sort of. But yes, in terms of the relocation, the mass exodus, my sister started it after university. She went to.
Whoever has kids, you rule.
Yeah, you suck in the family.
You set the rules.
But so when I flew, right, I dressed kind of nice. I wore some pink shoes. I had a nice little pink vintage dress. Put on the pearls. Was trying to not look like a ragamuffin, right? So everything's cool. I'm sitting on the plane. Get off the plane. And as soon as I get off the plane, I go into the bathroom, and it's the setup is like, you come down. There's like the tube, right? The aisleway. It's like kind of a one-way direction. Men's on one side, women's on the other. So they're in the same spot, just like opposite sides. So I walk into the men's room, and there's no door. It's just like the wall, so you have to walk around. So I walk in, do my business, and as I'm coming out, I pass another guy who's far enough in that he's like below the sign, so he can't really see it, but not committed yet to like walking around to see who's in there. And I come around the corner, and he's on his phone, and he almost bumps into me, and he looks up and kind of goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am." And then he stops and goes, "Ma'am? Wait, what? Where am I?" And then he turns around and does a double take and puts his phone away and kind of like hurries out like, "Oh gosh," and then looks up at the sign and goes, "Wait, what?" And then I just kind of turned around and walked away. But the expression that before I turned, he looked up at the sign and then turned and looked to me, and the look on his face, like those are the moments I wish I had Google Glass so that I could like run back the videotape and show you the screen cap of the 11 out of 10 confusion. Like, he was super nice. He didn't say anything, but like when somebody does a double take and can't help it, and they like are nice, but they still do the like, wait, what the fuck at first? It was exactly that. But it was just so funny the way it lined up perfectly. It was like, wait, I'm in the women's room? Oh no, wait, is that a man in the... What is happening? I'm jet lagged. That poor fuck. Oh man.
Oh, you killed him.
That was my welcome to North Carolina. Yeah, I made my mark and left. Got the hell out of there. But what are you going to do? Everyone else was very nice to me, and that poor gentleman was also very nice. But it still made me laugh.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I also, a side note, while we're talking about bathrooms, while I was in North Carolina, we had a restaurant. Okay, so it's small. There's 2 bathrooms, both of them single. You close the door, so it's like just the bathroom is a room.
Right.
But there's 2 rooms. One has a dude sign, one has a girl sign. All right, so we're going to leave. I run to the back, and there's like somebody in there. I didn't realize, so I'm standing there kind of dancing around waiting because I really had to pee, so I drank a bunch of beers. And there's a girl that works there, and presumably like a friend of the girl that works there, like waiting for a friend to get off, kind of chilling, like having a drink beforehand. And they saw me dancing around, and she was like, "You can just use the other one. It don't matter." And I was like, "Are you sure?" She was like, "Oh, yeah, man, we use both of them all the time. It don't matter for shit. It's whatever." I was like, "I'm really flattered that you feel like I'm allowed to use the women's room, but I think I'll just wait, thanks." And before they could respond to my response, the dude came out of the men's room, and I just kind of ran in there. And afterwards, I walked away with this really weird, conflicting feeling of feeling really flattered of like, that's so nice that you guys are so nice. And I was kind of expected the opposite, but you just, did whatever you want to do. That's a nice vibe. But at the same time, I felt a little weird going into the girls' room. Are you just like,
why didn't I use it?
No, I don't know. I just still like, I don't really have an issue using the men's room. I definitely like physically brace a little bit sometimes. Like, we're like, all right, hopefully nobody yells at me walking in here, because I think people like get surprised sometimes. But
right.
I think it's more jarring for me to walk into the women's room, man. I don't know. It's an individual choice, but for me personally, I don't really identify as a woman, so I don't think it's... I know I look like one sometimes, and I'm complimented that they think I pass enough to use that restroom, but I'll stick with the men's room. I think that's the most appropriate course of action for all parties involved. I'm
definitely
okay
would have jumped
that.
in that woman's room. Single, lock, shut, staff member says, "Oh, we use both all the time." I would have been that thing so fast.
Well,
like, yep, I gotta pee.
I think you're right, but I got in my own head and was just like, I was so happy that guy was not taking a long dump, because I was like, if I have to stand here for a couple minutes, I will probably
this was not the
get
right
peer
call.
pressured into using it and then just feel weird about it. So, Anyway, thought I'd share that moment with you of feeling both complimented and afraid in the same instance. I don't know what the word
like
for that
you scaring
emotion
the
is.
man out of the men's bathroom. That was good.
Yeah, there you go.
That's quality stuff right there. That's a real airport interaction, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Airport interactions, I kind of miss them. I have so many good airport stories.
Dude, hell yeah.
Every time I came back from a trip, I always had a good couple of just like, you wouldn't believe the person that I saw.
Oh, my God. All right, Trent. So to wrap this up, dude, I just saw this news that broke. UFC Inc.'s $175 million crypto deal, its largest sponsor ever. Crypto.com is now, they signed a 10-year sponsorship deal with Crypto.com for $175 million. So circling it back, the crypto ads are coming, buddy. This is just the beginning. Holy shit. TSM also.
But it's a dip. Dude, the TSM deal's nuts.
Did you see that? Is it FTX? Yeah. I think it's the name of it, the exchange.
TSM, FTX. They are named on everything.
I think that's also like a 10-year deal for, is it 120 mil? It's another egregious amount of money.
175, I think.
Oh, it's also 175? Is that like the going rate? 10 years, 175 mil? That's like your go-to?
It was something. I mean, like Leffen's Twitter is TSM FTX Leffen. And that's like, you know.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That was like blowing my mind, dude.
Wow. So
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, no getting away from it, folks. You can run, but you can't hide. Well, buddy, enjoy the rest of the qualifiers. Well, I think we'll keep trying to do our monthly podcast here. It'll get harder and harder as I pay less attention to Dota, but
it makes it perfect.
Talk about some real life too. It'll be fun.
We gotta play some Nemesis together.
Slow down the cadence. Yeah, I have. It's more fun to play now because it's so low stress for me. But I've actually not been playing much the last couple weeks.
Dude, your MMR is gonna skyrocket if you start playing pubs again. I guarantee.
As soon as you don't care about it, that's like, hey guys, I finally hit ancient now that it doesn't matter at all.
Yep, that'll be you.
Yeah, you're totally right. 100%.
And you hate how right I am, but I guarantee.
No, you're 1,000% right. I can feel it. I felt it even just in the few games I played. I'm like, wow, there's so much less stress when you don't care. I hate that. Well, I love it, but I hate it.
Go Liquid. I hope Liquid win the year of qualifier. Purely because I appreciate what the org is doing with these players and growing them and the content they're making. And the best content you're going to get is if Liquid wins. Second, I hope OG wins for the storyline. Third, Nigma's probably going to win. Also, Tundra has the NA player, so let's go Tundra.
Okay.
Let's go snaking.
I like it. Was very happy to see SG Esports win as well. I'm probably going to piggyback on your
that was crazy
EU prediction. Maybe I'll just go for Viking. Can I go for the bro points? I know they lost to OG, but
they looked good though. I'll give them that.
Chicken Fighters next, and they got the Ghost Frogs and the Hellbear Smashers. Some really
great
names.
They're gonna end up facing one of these players from Tundra or Liquid. They're gonna end up playing probably Tundra. That'll be a really good match.
Yeah. So exciting stuff. Lots to look forward to, Dota fans. Enjoy it, because we're done here. All right, we'll see you later.